Good morning, friends. Myself, Manoj Kumar Chithale, Assistant Professor, Hirashawar Institute of Technology, and Soshi. In this session, we people are going to discuss about the Ethernet standard. In the previous session, we people have gone through the standard Ethernet as well as what changes we people have did, so that that gives some sort of a way how we can improve the performance of it, as well as able to reduce the number of collisions, so on and so forth. And in this session, we people are going to discuss about the fast Ethernet, a gigabit Ethernet, as well as a 10 gigabit Ethernet. This fast Ethernet was designed to compete with the LAN protocols such as FDDI or fiber channel. IEEE created a fast Ethernet under the name that is a standard, that is 802.3 U. This fast Ethernet is backward compatible with the standard Ethernet. It can transmit data 10 times faster, that is at a rate of 100 Mbps. Here we people are going to discuss about MAC sublayer as well as the physical layer. Here the main consideration here is we people are able to achieve the data rate 100 Mbps. In case of a standard Ethernet, we are able to achieve the data rate up to 10 Mbps, and in case of a fast Ethernet, we people are able to achieve 100 Mbps of a data rate. For that purpose, we didn't change the MAC sublayer. We simply not using the bus topology. We people are very interested in two choices. One is the star topology. That is one we can able to connect these devices. That is a point-to-point connectivity. Other one is a star topology. Okay, where in case of a star topology, we people are having two methods or approaches. One in which these devices are able to communicate in a half duplex mode. Another approach, these devices are able to communicate in a full duplex mode. When it comes to this fast Ethernet, if I am using a star topology in a half duplex mode, on that case we people are having one passive device, that is a hub. Okay, where we have a link that connects these devices, and these devices are communicating in a half duplex mode, and the collision occurs over that passive device, that is a hub here. And here, when it comes to this fast Ethernet, your fast Ethernet has to detect the collision 10 times faster than the standard Ethernet here. For that purpose, we people are restricting that cable size, that is the medium size, up to 250 meters here. Suppose if you are using the same topology, where we people are using a link layer switches, on that case we people are communicating in a full duplex mode. We people are not at all receiving any kind of collisions there. For that purpose, there is no need of a CSMA CD. If you are using the star topology and a hub as a passive device, on that case the collision occurs over that particular point, and we people need a CSMA CD mechanism so that detects the collision. And in case of a fast Ethernet, your CSMA CD mechanism has to detect the collisions at 10 times faster than the standard Ethernet. And suppose if we are using the switch as a connecting component, that is a layer 2 device, on that case the stations are communicating with each other at the rate of in a full duplex manner. On that case there is no need to use a CSMA, a CD mechanism, a CSMA, a CD mechanism. If you look at the goals that are associated with fast Ethernet, we need to upgrade the data rate to 100 Mbps, make it is compatible with a standard Ethernet. We need to keep the same 48-bit address so that we can detect these devices, that is a NIC. The fourth one is we need to maintain the same frame format here. Another feature that we people are implementing when it comes to fast Ethernet is auto negotiation. That this auto negotiation allows these devices to negotiate negotiate the mode of operation or the data rate at which they are communicating with each other. That is, it allows a station or a hub a range of capabilities here. When it comes to this auto negotiation, that allows the incompatible devices to connect to one another. For example, a device with a maximum capacity of 10 Mbps, that is a standard Ethernet, a device is able to communicate with a device that is 100 Mbps capacity. But that communication takes place at the lower data rate here. To allow one devices to have multiple capabilities. The third one, that is it allows a station to check the hub's capability also. When it comes to the topology, we people are using two topologies. One is a point-to-point connectivity, another one is a star topology. Here, if I am using a switch, that is a layer 2 a device, on that case these devices are able to communicate with each other by using these in a full duplex manner here, where these switches have a certain buffer that stores the incoming frames here and send that information to the intended destination machines or devices here. Suppose if I am using a passive device as a hub here, on that case these devices communicate with each other in a half duplex mode, here. On that case, we need a CSMA CD mechanism that detects the collision over this hub. Suppose if I am using a switch, there is no need to use the CSMA a CD mechanism. But the point here is when a collision occurs, your CSMA CD mechanism has to detect these collisions 10 times faster than the standard Ethernet here. We people simply omit this bus topology when it comes to this fast Ethernet implementations. When it comes to the physical layer implementation, we people are using these three approaches or three methods. That is, your fast Ethernet is implemented in these three methods. One is a 100 base TX. The second that uses a 2-wire, okay, of a category 5 unshielded twisted pair cables. The next one we have a 100 base FX, and the third one is a 100 base T4. If you look at the encoding mechanism that is in the previous case, that is a standard Ethernet, we people have used the Manchester encoding. This Manchester encoding needs some sort of a higher bandwidth requirement so that we can able to achieve the 100 Mbps of a data rate. But that makes unsuitable for these twisted pair cables. For that purpose, we people are using a different encoding schemes over these implementations. In the first one, that is a 100 base TX, we people are using MLT3, that is a multi-line transmission level 3 encoder here. Okay, this encoder has a certain problem. That is a bit synchronization problem we people are facing when it comes to this particular encoding scheme. If you have a long stream of zeros or a long stream of ones, on that case we people are facing a certain problem, that is a bit synchronization. Okay, just to overcome that, we people are using 4B slash 5B encoder here. Okay, this because of this 4B 5B encoder, we people are able to receive the data rate around 125 Mbps. This data in turn fed through this MLT3 encoder, so that we are able to achieve 100 Mbps of a data rate here. In the second one, that is a 100 base FX, we people are using a 2 fiber cables, that is a 2 wire implementation, we can say that. Here we people are using a NRZI, that is as a encoding scheme. Okay, even this encoding scheme has a problem with a long stream of zeros and ones. Okay, for that purpose, we people are using a 4B slash a 5B encoder here. In turn, that produces the data rate around up to 125 Mbps. In turn, that fed through this NRZI encoder here. That is invert, a non-return to zero invert encoder here. Okay, so that we are able to achieve 100 Mbps of a data rate. The third one, we have a 100 base T4. In case of a 100 base T4 implementation, we people are using a category 3 UTP here. Here we people are able to achieve this 100 Mbps of a data rate. But the problem here is this device, these cables may not able to handle more than 25 megabaud here. Megabaud. Here these 3 pair of twisted pair cables that are used here that are able to handle around 75 megabaud here. To achieve 100 Mbps of a data rate, we people are using 8B slash 6T encoder. That is a 8 binary 6 ternary encoder we people are using. That is 8 bit information has been encoded to 6 signal elements. Okay, and we people are using around 6 ternary encoders here. Okay, so that we are able to achieve 100 Mbps of a data rate here. This is a summary of a fast Ethernet implementations. That is what characteristics we have. That is a media, number of wires, the maximum length, the block encoding, as well as a line encoding scheme here. 100 base TX, we people are using a category 5 unshielded twisted pair or a shielded twisted pair. The number of cables or wires we need 2 here. The length, that is 100 meters. What block encoding mechanism we people are using? 4B/5B. And the line coding mechanism we people are using MLT3, that is a multi-line transmission level 3 here. In case of a 100 base FX, we people are using a fiber media, that is optical cable we people are using. Number of wires, that is a 2. Maximum length 100 meter. Block encoding mechanism 4B/5B, and we people are using a line coding mechanism as a NRZ. In case of a 100 base T4, we people are using category 4 UTP. Number of wires required, that is a 4. That is a 4 wire implementation. The maximum length of this cable is 100 meter. We people are not at all using this block coding mechanism in case of a 100 base T4. We people are using a line encoding mechanism, that is a 6 binary/6 ternary. The next one, we have a gigabit Ethernet. We need some sort of a higher data rate here. The need for a higher data rate resulted in the design of a gigabit Ethernet protocol. That is 1000 Mbps. That is a 1 Gbps, we can say that. This IEEE standard, that is nothing but a 802.3Z. In this session, we people are going to discuss MAC sublayer, physical layer, as well as a 10 gigabit Ethernet. The goals of this gigabit Ethernet is we need to upgrade the data rate to 1 Gbps, make it is compatible with the standard Ethernet as well as a fast Ethernet. We people are using the same 48-bit addressing scheme, so that we can identify or detect these NICs. Use the same frame format. We need to keep the same minimum and a maximum frame length. Even it supports the auto negotiations. Here in case of this MAC sublayer, excuse me, when it comes to this evolution of Ethernet, we people are very much interested to keep that MAC sublayer as the same one. We people are not at all going to touch it. However, when it comes to achieving the data rate, okay, this becomes impossible, we can say that in certain cases. That is, just to achieve the data rate of 1 Gbps, this becomes no longer possible. When it comes to this gigabit Ethernet approach, we people are very much interested in how we people are going to deal with that medium access, where we people are using the two approaches. One is a half duplex mode, another one is a full duplex mode. Suppose if I am using a full duplex mode, on that case I am using the layer 2 devices that are nothing but switches, where all the computers are connected to these layer 2 devices, and each of these layer 2 device has a certain buffer space that at each input port and stores the information for a certain period of a time, okay, until they can be forwarded or transmitted to the intended destination. Suppose if we are using the layer 2 switches, on that case we may not get some sort of a collisions. On that case, there is no need to use the CSMA CD mechanism. Here, for that purpose, suppose in case of a gigabit Ethernet, if these devices are able to communicate in a full duplex mode, on that case we people are not at all getting any kind of a collision. Here the maximum length of the cable is completely determined by the attenuation of the signal here. Okay. Here if you look at in case of a full duplex mode, we people are not at all getting the collisions. Okay, and the maximum length of the cable is completely dependent on the signal attenuation level here. Okay, based on that we need to select the length of the cable here based on this signal attenuation factor here. Suppose when it comes to a half duplex mode, suppose if your gigabit Ethernet, we can also use this gigabit Ethernet in a half duplex mode. On that case, we people are using some passive component like a hubs here. Okay, on that case, most of the time we people are facing or receiving some sort of a collisions over these devices. On that case, your CSM, we need that CSMA CD mechanism that should and must detect the collisions. When it comes to this half duplex mode, we people are when it comes to this half duplex mode, we people are using these three different approaches. One is the traditional one. The second one is a carrier extension. The third one is a frame busting. In case of the traditional approach, we people are very much interested to maintain the length of the frame as the standard Ethernet. That is nothing but the minimum frame length is 512 bits here. However, the length, if you look at this gigabit Ethernet, that the bit duration or the bit length is 100 times shorter than the standard Ethernet. 100 times shorter than the Ethernet. Here your a gigabit Ethernet, when it comes to this gigabit Ethernet, whenever the collision occurs, your CSMA CD mechanism has to detect the collisions 100 times faster than the standard Ethernet. In the sense, suppose when it comes, for example, in case of a standard Ethernet, we people are receiving or we people are detecting that a collision within a 51.2 microseconds. When it comes to this gigabit Ethernet, we need to detect the collisions less than 0.512 microsecond here. For that purpose, the length of the cable here is a very restricted one. That is restricted to 25 meters. Maybe that comprises a single room, we can say that. The second one approach we people are using here, that is a carrier extension. In case of a carrier extension, we people are trying to increase the a minimum frame length here. In case of this carrier extension, we people are increasing that frame length to a 512 bytes here. Okay, that is 8 times longer than the standard Ethernet. Okay, because of this method, because of this, suppose uh, uh, if that information is lesser than 512 bytes, on that case we need to append a number of zeros. That is a extension bit we people are using, that is a padding bits. And even we people are extending the length of the cable by 8 times here. That is a 25 into 8, that is we people are receiving around a 200 meter here. The third approach, the mechanism, that is frame busting we people are using. Okay, just to improve the efficiency, we people are using this frame busting mechanism. Here, instead of adding an extension to each frame, what we people are doing, multiple frames are sent here. Just to make these multiple frames look like a one frame, the padding is added between the frames here, so that the channel remains busy all the time here. Okay, what we people are saying, that we people are deceiving other stations. Okay, here what we people are doing, we people are just deceiving the other stations into thinking that a very large frame that is transmitted by that station. Okay, that is nothing but a frame busting mechanism. What we people are doing in case of a frame busting mechanism, instead of sending a series of short frames, what we people are just sending a large frame. How we people are sending this large frame? By inserting some sort of multiple we people are just filling that gap between the frames by putting some sort of extension. Okay, we people are adding some sort of extensions to each frames here, and we people are sending these multiple frames. Okay, the other station thinks that the station is sending one large frame here. That is, we people are deceiving or fooling the other stations here. These are the topologies. What topology we people are using when it comes to the gigabit Ethernet. We can able to connect these two devices directly by using a point-to-point connectivity. Another one is a star topology, where you can use a switch as well as a hub here. Okay, hub, that is a passive component, if that works in a half duplex mode. If you are using a switch, on that case we people are able to communicate with the switch in a full duplex manner here, or a two-star topology, or a hierarchy of this star topology we can implement. The gigabit Ethernet implementation, we people are using a two-wire short wave fiber, that is a 1000 base SX, long wave fiber, that is a 1000 base LX, a 1000 base CX, that is we people are using a shielded twisted pair a cable here. All these are a two-wire implementation. The fourth one is a 1000 base T, that is a 4-wire implementation. These first three mechanism, that is we people are using two fiber channels or cables, or two shielded twisted pair cables here. Okay, that is associated with a 100 base SX, 1000 base SX, 1000 base LX and 1000 base CX here. Here we people are using a NRZ encoder. This NRZ has a problem with a synchronization, that is a bit synchronization. Okay, we people are facing a problem when we have a stream of zeros or a stream of ones here. For that purpose, we people are using 8B/10B block encoder here. In turn, that produces around 1.25 Gbps of a data rate here. In turn, this information is fed through this NRZ, so that we people are able to achieve 1000 base 1000 Mbps of a data rate, or a 1 Gbps of a data rate here. The next one, that is a 1000 base T. Here we people are using a 4D pulse amplitude modulation of 5 encoder here. That is a 4D is nothing but the data units that are transmitted over this cables at the same time, and we people are using around 5 different levels. Okay, that is a 4-dimension, a 5-level a pulse amplitude modulation encoder we people are using. The next one we have this is the summary of a gigabit Ethernet implementation. 100 base 1000 base SX uses a fiber channels, that is a shortwave. Number of cables that are required to the maximum length here is a 550 meter, and block encoding scheme we people are using, that is a 8B/10B, and this 8B/10B block coding mechanism is used for all these implementation, that is 100 base SX, 1000 base SX, 1000 base LX, 1000 base CX. Okay, in case of a long wave, the maximum length is a 5000 meter. In case of a 1000 base CX, the length is restricted to 25 meters here. In case of a 1000 base T, we people are using a category 5 UTP cables, that is a 4 number. The length is restricted to 100 meters here. The next one, we have a gigabit Ethernet. This we people are receiving all these evolution, that is nothing but because of the race. Okay, the organizations are interested to capture the marketplace, as well as they are able to provide some sort of a higher data rate to the end users. For that purpose, we people have gone through all these evolutions. Okay, and this Ethernet is a one standard because of all that is presently in the market because of these evolutions. Okay, when it comes to this 10 gigabit Ethernet, this IEEE committee created this 10 gigabit Ethernet, and this IEEE standard is nothing but a 802.3 AE. The goals of this 10 gigabit Ethernet, we need to upgrade the data rate to a 10 Gbps, make it as compatible with the standard fast as well as gigabit Ethernet. We people are using the same 48-bit addressing scheme to identify NICs. We need to use a same frame format. We need to keep a same minimum as well as a maximum frame length. Allow the interconnection of an existing LAN to metropolitan area network, or we can connect it to a wide area network also. Make this Ethernet compatible with the technologies such as a frame relay as well as a ATM. And here, when it comes to this implementation, we people are using the fiber optic cables over a long distances. Okay, these are the implementation methods. That is a 10G base SR. The medium, that is a fiber 850 nanometer we people are using. The length of the medium or a cable, that is a 300 meter. The number of wires, that are 2, and what encoding scheme we people are using, that is a 64B 66B. Okay, when it comes to 10G base LR, the fiber, that is a medium we people are using a 1310 nanometer cable the fiber optic cable we people are using. The length of the medium is a 10 kilometer. The number of wires, that is 2. Still here we people are using the same encoding scheme, that is a 64B 66B. The third implementation, that is a 10G base EW. Here we people are using a medium of a 1350 nanometer. That is a optical cable we people are using. The length of the cable here is a 40 kilometer. The number of wires is a 2, and we people are using it in Sonnet. The last one is a 10G base X4. Here the medium is we people are using a fiber optic cable, that is of a size 1310 nanometer. The medium length is a 300 meter to 10 kilometer, and the number of cables required here is a 2. And here we people are using 8B/10B encoding scheme here. In the next session, we people are going to discuss about a wireless LAN here. Thank you.